Hey, we live from Media Campus West. Shout out to Magic 1075 97.5 Real Sign of Atlanta. Of course, we checking in too with the game. Shout out my brother Potty Ali. This is a special interview. We're gonna wear the paint off the hype bell today. I got my brother, my the top Ock in the building. We've been talking about this interview for months,
for years. It feel like
right. And he's in the city now. He's doing such amazing things, man. He's the Muslim Don of music, media, merch, and more. Tone Trump is in the building. What's up, bro?
Alhamdulillah, man. I'm so happy to be here. Like, at this, I've been in the game so long, you don't really look forward to interviews, but this is more like a reunion, man. I've been meeting so many people out here who I've known through social media, but not, I haven't been into Atlanta in years for numerous reasons, from legal issues to different reasons. And this has always been a second home to me, and the embracing that I've been getting from just the Muslims out here in the streets and the people, and of course yourself being here means a lot. So thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it. I really do.
That's real love.
I love what you do. You know what I'm saying? From everything. Like, I watch you online, and it's beautiful to see, man. I really will say that, and I'm glad to be able to tell you that face to face, mashallah.
Same, man. And vice versa, man. It's not just I do enjoy the music. Let me put that first. But man, the things you do in the community with the people, you touch the people, you feed the people, you clothe the people. If somebody's in need, I saw a sister get burnt out. You like, hey, we gonna make sure you got somewhere to stay. I see the kids, they need something. You like, hey, we trying to raise money to get this kid some shoes, some clothes, whatever, bro. You always boost to the ground, man. I gotta hit the hype bell for that. And the hype bell is like us just giving you your roses. You know what I'm saying, man?
I receive them. I appreciate them, and I receive them. And I always say a dua whenever people talk about the stuff I do in the community. I always say, I ask Allah to make me better than what they think of me, and forgive me for what they don't know of me. I'm very, transparent about my background and being from the streets, and the same way I was chasing it in the streets, I gotta chase it for the good and for the positive. So that's what the goal is right now. We just want to make a difference and have a real purpose in the community. I want the kids to the elders to everybody in between to, when they see us or they see anybody that's associated with me or see our logo, to think positivity.
Right.
And inshallah, that's the goal.
It's working. Because just even the outside looking in, the admiration, you always very transparent about your past, but you're also very, very vocal and transparent about what your present and your future, man.
Absolutely.
So it's dope, bro.
Absolutely.
It's dope. I'm gonna be sitting here singing your praises all day. We just get to this interview.
Oh man, I can get used to that. I can get used to that. I'm not gonna complain.
Right. This is the man that donned the world-renowned Times Square billboard, and then it seemed like a day later he was holding slot for all. It looks like 1,000 brothers just out there doing. I saw your son call it the tag beer. I said, bro, this has got to be the best feeling in the world.
Man, yo, I just did an interview. I did an interview with Muslim Matters, and they asked me about that.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, this was the best Ramadan I ever had, and that was the highlight of my Ramadan.
Wow.
Him doing that, man, and the joy it brought him, and he got 1 million hits on TikTok, so he was just excited. And just, I put up a caption today. I said, only thing better than winning is winning with your children.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? So having my babies with me as I go through this journey is truly a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm grateful.
That's beautiful, man. You can't put that, sound like another piece of merch coming out.
Yeah. Coming soon. Coming soon. I'm gonna sell it.
Right. I love that, man. I love the spirit of what you learned how to do in the street, the way you put it toward what you got going now. Let's talk about that, because growing up in Philly, what was that like for you? You know what I mean? Because I grew up in Jersey, so we was like neighbors. You know what I'm saying?
Right. For me, man, I'll be honest, man. I grew up in a very rough neighborhood that was filled with poverty and drugs and violence. But my mother did such a great job of shielding me from things. Like, I'd be lying. Like, I don't have like the sad story like a lot of people have. Fortunately, mashallah, like my childhood was beautiful. I didn't realize we were struggling or we didn't have a lot until I was older. And I started to notice certain things. I'm like, damn, my own really be struggling. And that's when I really had to step up. But I had a great childhood, despite my mom raising me by herself. My father didn't play much of a role, but my mother just was amazing. I used to complain about my father not being there, but when I look back now, I'm like, what Allah gave me in a mother, I have no right to complain about anything. So my childhood was amazing, and growing up in Philadelphia, like everything I'm doing now was a product of things I learned in that rough city, no matter what people say about it. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to hustle on 52nd and Market. You know what I'm saying? So like the elders out there hustling clothes, and the Muslim brothers selling oils and CDs and DVDs. You know what I mean? I really learned the grind, and that grind that they taught me has took me all over the world, mashallah. So I'm grateful.
I love that, man. I know you say you miss your pops, but he did leave you something. He left you that music spirit.
Absolutely. He left me the music spirit and he left me Islam. So
Mhm.
I'm forever grateful. And he
Right.
helped give me life.
Yeah.
So as I get older, you know, I take turns. Sometimes I'm like mad grateful to my pop. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, man, F that dude.
Right.
So it's like
Well,
a bipolar
that's
thing.
the duality of being human and just understanding, you know, situations of real life situations. Like
Absolutely.
you can afford yourself to say that. Like, bro, you should be here. You should have been there to see this greatness bubble up.
Right.
But also sometimes they put that in that battery in your back.
And
too,
one
at the
thing
same time.
I respect about my mother, despite the issues with him, my mother never said a bad word about my father. I've never heard her curse him. I've never, you know, even when I would get disrespectful, she would check me. It's still your father.
Right.
So it just gives you a certain moral compass, you know, about, you know, one forgiving and one respect no matter what, because in the Quran it tells us to respect our parents. It doesn't come with limitations. It doesn't say respect your parents if they're great parents.
Yeah.
You know, it's honor your mother and your father. You have to honor them. It doesn't come with any like small print.
Right.
So you know, that's something that I definitely work on.
Absolutely. Sometimes I struggle with that myself, just to be transparent with my relationship with my mom. You know what I'm saying? We do back and forth. My pops the same way. Don't say nothing. Just do what you're supposed to do as a Muslim and as a man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
So that's what it is. And it ain't nothing crazy, but it's just, you know,
no. Hey, we human. We human. And the thing about a relationship, it ain't real till you go through stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you don't know how people really feel about you until they angry or sad or whatever. So that's healthy, believe it or not. Sometimes, you know, you don't want it to be all the time.
Right.
But every now and then to have a disagreement. My brother Ubaid is here with me. That's my closest confidant. You know, we win together. We learn together.
Right.
And then sometimes we might be on the road and we might have an argument. But guess what, man? That's my brother.
That's
regardless.
real. Yeah.
So and that's how you know it's real. You're not gonna always tell me what I want to hear. You know, he's not here for the Tone Trump show. He's here to make sure that our purpose and our movement with the Muslim Don family is everything we seek it to be. And that's bigger than me. Nobody's bigger than the program.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like every move I make, every decision I make, we just left a restaurant. If I'm in there being rude, that doesn't just make me look bad.
It reflects on the whole situation. Yeah.
So we work on that and we striving. That's why my new project is called Still Striving. Because regardless and no matter what, it's like people give me a lot of credit right now, but I'm still striving, man. I might get in a fight tomorrow.
Right.
You know, I might respond bad to a troll tonight. You know
I mace a lot, but I curse sometimes.
Yeah,
I understand,
you know what I'm saying? Like, pray for me.
I got you, man.
And any fan or any supporter that meets me at the airport, anywhere, they'll always tell you that the last thing I always say to them is pray for me.
Yeah.
Pray for me. I need it. And they do. And that's one of the reasons I'm here today.
Right, man. Let's talk about the music too, since you just mentioned Still Striving. At what point, you growing up, you in Philly, it's so many talented artists and acts that come out of there, from musicians down to actual artists too. Some of the best lyricists come from there. When you think about Black Thought, Freeway, Beans, you know what I'm saying? Yourself. Tell me, like, when did you catch the bug and realize, yo, this could be my career?
Honestly, like some of the people you just named, because I think for any kid growing up, seeing people from where you're from make it is always the biggest motivation.
Yeah.
So I grew up down the street from Freeway.
Okay.
So I literally watched him go from being like Little Leslie to, you know, Basil to being like on 1-900 Hustler with Jay-Z and Rockefeller. It's like, whoa.
I know that's gotta be nuts.
Now he's in the Source magazine. And you know, we used to steal the Source magazine just to read it. And now my friend is in it. So seeing him, you know, and seeing Beanie Siegel and seeing Philly's Most Wanted and seeing major figures, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to forget none of the greats, you know, seeing even like the DVD era, like just seeing Philly dudes, you know, get, because it wasn't just about money, because I'm a hot boy, I'm a show off. I like the fame too.
Right.
So I'm saying I'm seeing the lights, and I'm looking at some of these dudes like, yo, they not even fly, they not even like whoa, but they rapping.
Right.
I was like, I gotta write a rap. And that's when I started to pursue my dreams. And like you said, Philly is the home of the spitters. So when I started, like, no exaggeration, when I started, I probably was like the worst rapper in the city, but I just kept working and kept working and kept believing. And I passed up so many of them guys that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could sign a lot of them guys now just from persistence and prayer and just never giving up. And then, because when I first started, it was just like I said, it was about the fame. Then I started to make a little bit of money. So then it was about the money. But then what happened is I fell in love with the craft. I wanted to be better. I wanted to compete. You know, I was getting songs with big artists. I don't want to be on a song with a big artist and I'm like terrible. So now I'm like really working on my craft. And that's where I'm at now, where I feel like I make, you know, the best music of my life. It's honest, you know, it's unapologetically, you know, me representing being a Black Muslim from the streets. And I feel like I'm almost creating my own genre. So when you're doing that, it's a beautiful thing is I don't got to try to compete with, the big corporations and stuff like that, because I'm making my own lane.
Right.
So you know what I mean? And I'm blessed to do that.
I think it's a perfect time for that because we kind of in charge of doing our own content. As
That's
a few years ago, we would have had to use the machine to do it. And they may not understand what we're trying to put out or what you're trying to put out.
And it's like now it's cooler to not be.
Yeah.
You know how it used to be cool to be like, I'm signed to so-and-so.
Right.
That's almost like embarrassing now to like still be on a record label. You want to say, I'm a CEO. Mm-hmm. I'm doing my thing. So I think that's important for all artists.
Yeah, man. I love that. And then you understand both sides because you had deals. You know what I'm saying? You almost went blind from that to signing a 6-figure deal. How was that?
For me, at the time, I thought it was a dream come true. And it
still
was a blessing.
It had to be.
Yeah, it still was a blessing because you gotta understand. Like I was a kid who literally was on my block. Me and my brother Mossberg used to literally like be bagging up work to Young Jeezy's music.
Right.
And the next thing you know, I'll never forget one day we was in Miami. We in the studio and he was like by the board and I'm like standing there and I'm like looking and I'm like,
just crazy.
I'm like, yo, that's Jeezy right there. Like I was like, yo, we was great to do a song together. And I'm like, yo, like it was really, and we like partied this whole weekend. But then as I got to go and I got to know, I feel like religiously I learned so much. I feel like God was showing me like, believing too much in the music industry and putting so much into a human being. And that's why I feel I'm the only artist from CTE that's never dissed Jeezy. Yeah. Never said nothing bad about him because even some of the things that the other people said that may be true, you got to take accountability.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's
his persona, his persona of the streets and what he represented was so real to us that we get around him and we have all these expectations, but he's a human being. Right. And he's a businessman. So it's like even if let's say all that stuff he rap about is true, that's not who he is. When we met him, we met this executive and we like wanted to be like this homeboy who from the trap and all of that, and that's not that. So it's like it was a learning experience, and everything I'm doing now with my company, you learn from the good and bad. And I feel like I'm implementing a lot of great things and not making certain mistakes because I got to learn. For me, that was almost like a player getting to go to college to play college ball, and now I feel like I'm in the pros. So it was like my college run, and I learned a lot, man.
Most college runs don't come with a 6-figure deal, but
that's true. That's true.
That's true.
That's what's up, man. And one thing I'm also grateful with, just being affiliated with Jeezy, I made so much other money and moves that I can't deny. I have business relationships and friendships and brotherhoods now that came from corporate Thugs Entertainment. So I'm forever grateful. I always shout out Jeezy. I always shout out Carbon 15. That was my Atlanta family and the whole CTE, all the brothers from Macon, and they all brought me in like family. Like I was around a bunch of like country Crips. And like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dude from Philly and they embraced me and protected me and showed me love. And we made so much great music at the world. Like we have a whole, I never say this a lot, but we have a whole album, me, Freddie Gibbs, Jeezy, like Jeezy's on like 8 of the songs, like hooks and everything. And I'm like, man,
a lot of people can't say that at all.
Nah, man, I was in the studio every day with this man. Like, you know what I mean? So I wish the world could hear that. And if I get my hands on the hard drive, they will hear it.
It's over with.
Yeah, it's over. I'm putting it out.
Let's put that out there.
Yeah, I swear I told Gibbs that I said, I get it. It will be uploaded. Right. But I always shout them dudes out. And even fast forward, Atlanta's been good to me because I work with CeeLo Green as well. So for me, ATL, that's a great brother. So shout to CeeLo and his whole team and family, and shout to the whole ATL because, like I said, man, you hear about Southern hospitality, but to come out here and really get it, to get the love from that, because I'll be really with the real ATL. Not like the internet ATL. You know what I'm saying? Like,
really be on the
I was in Bankhead yesterday. I'm leaving here and I'm getting up with Parlay. You know what I'm saying? Like I was with Queen yesterday. You know what I'm saying? On the West End. So it's like I really be outside.
Yeah, shout out to Queen, man.
Shout out to Queen, my sister.
Support things that we do. We did a turkey giveaway. She made sure Rollo and them put forth something to the streets and the community, man.
She heavy, man. Shout out to Queen. She's heavy, and that's my sister, and I appreciate her. And RIP Trouble. I gotta shout out my brother Trouble. While I'm in the A, I gotta pay homage. RIP Shorty Low, another one who, when I was out here years ago, Low had me out on the West End, with him like really mobbing.
I know, bro. Low used to pull up on celebrity games for me for nothing for free. And this is done Low. Like this is when Low was top of the world. Low. Like
Low one of them ones.
That dude, bro.
Me too. He one of them ones. Shout to Low.
All right, man. Let's move because you named a few artists that have been in some movies. You named Freddie Gibbs. He was just on the Power series. You know what I'm saying? You named a couple. You named CeeLo. CeeLo was voicing characters on the Dracula cartoon. You know what I'm saying? But we saw the rest of the world got to see Tone Trump when you graced that screen on Creed. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? How was that, bro?
Man, that was like a dream come true. That was incredible. I mean, just being at the premiere with my mother sitting next to me. Wow. My scene come on and. You know, like it was one part where like the whole screen was my face, man. You know what I mean? Imagine watching that in your city. I'm portraying myself, and you know, my mom has been through so much with me, from the streets to getting kicked out of school. So to see her smile made it all worth the while. And then to have such a legendary scene with such a legendary director, you know, Ryan Coogler's involved.
Come on, man.
Michael B. Jordan's involved.
Right. And now you had seen with Michael B. Jordan, with Ryan Coogler directed, and you got a full like you shot, and you're not playing somebody.
Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not playing like MC War or nothing like that. No, I'm playing Tone Trump, the top. And I tell people, like, you know, even with the script, like I changed pretty much the whole script. Like we had did like 3 or 4 takes, and then Ryan pulled me to the side and was like, "What you think?" And I was just like, "Yo, I would never say none of that stuff." I'm like, "I'm playing myself. Let me." He was like, "What would you say?" And the first thing I told him was the line about the VIP pops next to your pops, and he was like, "I love it." You know what I mean? And I cursed it. He was like, "Yo, take the cursing out because it got to be PG-13, but let's run it." And the first time I did that line, because Michael B didn't know I was gonna say that. He was thinking I was gonna say. He stopped. That was because I was messing up a little bit in the beginning, and he messed up, and he was like, "Yo, good shit." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
and that was like validation for me, because you know I feel like he's, you know, right now, other than me, he's the best, you know, African American actor, you know, in our generation. So I felt honored that, you know, he gave me my props, because you know I wrote them lines in, and then Ryan trusted me and letting them stay, and it was beautiful, because when it came out, the first thing everybody kept saying was, "Yo, man, that's just like you," or "Yo, that's you." So. And it was because he gave me, because he could have made me, if they wouldn't have let me, I would have said what they said. It was super corny. So I was like, come on, man, the world gonna see this. Let me flex. And my brother did. So shout to Ryan, shout to Michael B. Michael B was very helpful. You know, even with taking the punch, like that was hard for me, because I'm like, damn. So he pulled, at one point he pulled me to the side. He like, look, bro. He like, I've been getting punched on this whole movie. I know it's not easy. Yeah, he like, come on. He like, you trying to look all cool. He like, so he showed me the right way, you know, because they actually had somebody to take the punch. It's not, and I wanted to do it, because I was thinking, I always think ahead. I'm like, I want to be able to say when I do press, and I did my own stunts. Right.
I Jackie
so
Chan.
I fought for that. Yeah.
I fought for that punch.
For that
punch for y'all.
I fought for it. So I'm forever grateful for that look, and it's opened up. I'm in Atlanta right now shooting a short film. And I'm sure I got booked for that partly because of Creed.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah, so shout out to them brothers.
And like I said, bro, we saw the movie. We already knew, you know what I'm saying, the music and what you was doing. And for you to be yourself in that, it was basically an old. And for you to be in that.
It gave me a lot of new fans too, man. I never forget one day me and my brother Nitty was leaving. We went to the Knicks, a Knicks game at the Garden. And I walk out from like the VIP exit.
Yeah.
TMZ run up on me, and it was like the Creed thing. And I was like, wow. And all these white people wanting pictures with me. That was new. So it was like, you know, that's part of the Rocky franchise. So it definitely opened up a lot of doors. Shout out to all my Caucasian fans who didn't know me from being a rapper, but came through for Creed, and now they support the music, the merch, and everything else. So I appreciate them.
It's dope too, because of what you do on the other side with the music and how you are as a person and as a man, as a Muslim, you're showing those people a different side. Because I've been in so many conversations with people that have no idea about being Muslim or anything. And the only information they have is what happened on 9/11 or what they saw on the news.
Sadly.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So now they get to see you feeding people, taking care of people, holding public prayer sessions, and just showing brothers. And you be quick to be like, we not a gang.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We just brothers in arms.
Absolutely. Because the way, you know, sometimes because of, you know, a lot of brothers that's around me come from checkered backgrounds.
Yeah.
And people have, you know, trouble. You know, Allah is the most merciful. You know, Allah forgives, but people don't.
People don't, no.
And people don't forget. So we understand that. And that's why we don't take anything personal. But I do like to let people know, like, we are not a gang. You know what I mean? We don't prescribe to any of those ideologies. And we respect the gang members. You know, we know them brothers are warriors and they're needed too.
Right.
But we're not a gang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We
like
to make that clear.
But they say the best preachers come from the street anyway. You
Believe
know,
that. I agree with
that. Because you understand both sides.
I agree with that 1,000%.
Right. Let's move on to this new project, man. You've been dropping like sprinkling singles here and there. You know what I mean? And we jumping on. We love them. I see some of these amazing features.
Yeah.
And then the solo songs are amazing too. Tell me about this new project.
This new project I'm working on right now is real important to me because I took a little break after coming back from Ethiopia. I just wanted to get closer to my Lord, closer to my family, off the internet, away from everything. And I took like almost a 2-year hiatus. So when coming back, I really wanted to make some powerful motivational music because I had hundreds and thousands of DMs saying, bro, man, we miss you. I don't know what's going on, but even your posts, like the people that we need some music. So I'm working on a project right now called Still Striving, which is executive produced by my little brother, multi-platinum artist Kevin Gates.
Love it.
And
shout out to Kevin Gates. My bad. That's my guy, bro. Like shout out to Kevin Gates. He always
shout
solid.
out to the big general, man. Super
Always
solid, super honorable, and I love him to death. And tapping into him, him being so current, so creative, so talented, and getting vibes and energy and motivation from him. I reached out to him, the EP, the project, and he was like, "Come on, it's done." He was like, "And send me something to get on." So he's on the project. He was on my last project. And I didn't want a lot of features on this because I starved my people so much from me.
Yeah.
I wanted them to hear my voice. So still striving. We do have Kevin Gates on there. We do have Freeway on there. I'm going to introduce some new artists as well, but it's going to be mostly Top Rock, Tone Trump. It's going to be mostly me, inshallah. So I'm excited about it. July 4th.
Okay.
Bunch of visuals coming out. Bunch of visuals I'm putting out for my last project. I'm just working. I'm about to oversaturate it. I'm going to make up for the time I wasn't here. So I'm about to go crazy.
That's a great birthday present for me. I'm like 2 weeks after that. So
I'm about to go crazy. You hear me?
I love it, man. I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I got a couple more questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man. Tell me about that merch. I got on every time you drop something, I make sure to buy something because I want to support whatever way I can. A cash app when you're trying to feed the people.
And I appreciate and everything matters and everything counts, man. I got this one brother. This is for everybody listening. I got this one brother who, when I feed the homeless, he donates $1 or $2 every time. And like I memorize his name just from my cat because literally, you know how you get the notification from Cash App, and it'll say so and so. I don't want to say his name, but so and so donated $1. And the first couple of times he did it, I didn't think nothing of it. Then I thought to myself one day, I said, "Wow, you got to think like, what if he had $2 when he gave that $1?
Then it means more than the person donating 100. They got 100,000.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And
the consistency of his $1 and $2 donations. I ask Allah, even while I say this in this interview, I ask Allah to increase him in good. And answer his prayers, but just the humility of it, and that helps.
Yeah,
believe it or not, like that helps. Like, and when we out here feeding people, because sometimes we might just raise $100, sometimes we might raise $3,000, but whatever we raise, 100% goes to feeding the people. So that $1 or $2, that's another meal, believe it or not. That's another water. That's another fork. That's another, you know what I'm saying? So
some people
thank to everybody that support.
Some people would be embarrassed to send $1 and not send anything at all.
I agree. I probably would have felt like that at some point in my life. Like, man, I only got $1. I ain't going to embarrass. But this brother literally, and then even when I'm not raising funds or nothing, like I'll just get I guess whenever he gets an extra $1.
He know where it's going.
He know where it's going.
He know where it's going.
I hope that he sees this because I really appreciate him, man. And like I said, it's been consistent. This is going on like years now. Like literally, it say so-and-so has sent you one. Never less than one, never more than two. But it's consistent and we appreciate him.
That's dope, man. Let me hit the hype bell for that, man.
Yeah, hit the hype. But as far as the merch is so important, man. The merch is important. It opens up doors. It creates dawah. It makes us money. We won't lie about that. So and it's big branding. I met so many people this weekend walking up with the merch on. It makes you feel good when you see an idea and people feeling good enough to want to wear your stuff. So I'm grateful, and we doing some big things. We actually plan on opening up an MDF store in Atlanta. So you'll be able to not even have to order online. You can walk right into a brick and mortar. And Ubaid is working on that right now with some young ox who from here. Because whenever we go to a town, we never want to come in like we trying to take over. We want to come and work and partner with people already there on the ground, feet on the land. So inshallah, I'll be on the lookout for that soon.
Inshallah, I love that, man. I love the double meaning of it because every time I put something on, I got to think twice about what I'm doing, where I'm going.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to misrepresent the brand. So I love that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
how
I carry my brand. I try to shop with people who do the same.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So yeah.
I'm the same way. And that's the good thing about being in something permissible because it helps you do right. It's just certain things I'm not going to do with my thought on.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm at least think about it. So it's like maybe I should wear my thought more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'll definitely get
most
it.
Definitely.
I love that, man. This is a personal question. Y'all can listen to. All right. Well, you went on Hajj. How was that?
I can't explain it. It's the greatest experience ever. And if anybody goes to Mecca or Medina, they're gonna give you the same answer. There's no way to explain it.
Yeah.
It was
My
the
uncle
greatest.
said the same thing.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. And it's funny because before I went, people would say it to me, and I just think they was like exaggerating. Literally, bro, when I got off the bus in Medina, I'll never forget. The first thing I could tell you is the smell and the taste of the air. And then I looked over to my left. My hotel was right here, and I looked to my left, and I saw that green light.
Yeah.
And I said, "That's the Prophet's Masjid." I've seen pictures of it all my life, and I got so emotional, feeling like, what did I do to deserve to be here, man? Like I almost felt guilty. And then before I even went to my hotel room, I walked up to the Prophet's Masjid, and saw that marble looking floor and saw how it was so beautiful. And I can't put it in words, man. The greatest, one of the great, aside from having my children, the greatest moment of my life.
Well, I can't wait I gotta take my pops to Inshallah this year.
May Allah invite you. We going in November, man. You need to get on that trip with the Top Ox, man. We taking a whole 2 plane loads of some of the greatest, humblest, beautifulest, strongest brothers in America. Inshallah, we will be going in November. Towards the end of November, inshallah. Okay. I would love for you and your pop to join us. I'll send you the information, inshallah. You need to go. That's probably why we was met to meet today, so I could tell you, come on to Umrah, man.
I love that, man. Let's do it. And my big bro, we going. All right, let's get to this fast forward. That was a personal question. My bad, y'all. We back to it.
Oh, they need to hear that one.
They do.
Indeed.
This is the fast forward, man. I'm going to ask you 4 questions. Answer them however you want to answer them, man.
Okay.
Do it the Top Ox style that you're going to do it in.
Let's do it.
What's the best piece of advice you would give yourself at 17?
I was wild at 17. At 17, I would have guarded my private parts better. I wouldn't have been as fast with girls at 17. If I can go back in time, there's so many decisions I made as far as like relationships that I just would have never. I look at it now and be like, what was you thinking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have loved myself more. I think young men need to be more stingy with their private parts and their time and their energy, because the wrong girl and the wrong woman can take so much from you mentally, spiritually, financially. So I just would have been better with that. I would have waited a little longer to even be sexually active. To be honest, I would have just chilled and just been a kid. I wish I could have been 17. At 17, I was 30.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have just been 17. I wish I would have been thinking about junior prom and not making $10,000 and all that and going to Miami, because that's what I was on at 17.
Right. A lot of people need to hear that, man. I appreciate the way you answer that. All right. One thing you wish people knew about you before they found out about you.
Sometimes I'd be disappointed. I meet a lot of people that be surprised that I'm intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, I think now it's a little different
because they can't tell that, because I could look through social media.
Well, you know what I was about to say? It's a little different now because with Instagram, they see me speak a lot more. But before that, it was just like DVDs and me rapping and YouTube. Yeah. So I think, the facade. So I think a lot of people are so surprised. They be like, damn, you like I've been in interviews, they be like, damn, you smart. Like, you know what I mean? Like almost like like they be like surprised.
And it's always come off disrespectful.
Yeah, like, and they always say, I don't mean it like that. And I understand it. You know what I mean? But that's one thing that I wish that, wasn't the case. And that's a responsibility of mine. I gotta have accountability. What am I putting out that they think that? So I've worked on doing better with my imagery and with the way I represent myself, my brand, and my family. And now they don't really say that no more. So that was a sign of how I was carrying myself. In Arabic, it's called idab, like your manners. So yeah.
All right, man. You always teach me. He don't even know it.
Alhamdulillah.
Man. You on tour. You could pick any 4 artists to be on this tour bus with you, but y'all are also shooting the show as well. What 4 artists you bringing with you?
Jay-Z, Drake, Mary J. Blige, and my brother CeeLo Green.
There we go. That's a
number one show in the world.
Number one show in this. Let's call Live Nation.
Let's get it going. Let's get it going.
All right, man. Dinner guests, 4 people here or not here. Who you got at the table?
4 people at dinner. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, my brother Ubaid.
Because he gonna take the conversation back and turn it into something.
Yep. Imam Jamil Al-Amin.
Free him.
Free him.
I love it. There's no more else to say.
Free
him. I love it, man.
The big Imam. Believe that. And shout out to the whole West End community. Right. I got if I don't do it, who gonna do it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely, man. So shout out to them, man. Shout out, bro. I appreciate you coming.
Yo, I gotta say this because I'm in Atlanta and I would be fake if I didn't do this. I want every young Muslim out there to pay attention to the situation that's going on right now with Rollo. Like, you see these streets is wicked. There's no honor in these streets. There's no win in these streets. We seen 2 years ago, Rollo looked like he was on the top of the world. All the money, the Lamborghinis, and all of that stuff goes away. They put you in prison. If you do wrong, then people are going to come for you. And then Rollo put himself in a position where now we see that he's had to cooperate with the federal government, ruined his name, ruined his brand. And as a Muslim, it hurts me because I love Rollo, but I got to use this as an example to the children. Not that I want to slander Rollo, but I want the kids to know that all of that stuff he was talking was fake. It's entertainment, and it'll get you in prison. And you saw as soon as he got in prison, within 3 months, that man was bending over for the federal government and cooperating. And that's not what you want to do. You want to keep your name and your face clean. The best way to do that is not get in the streets. Do what you're supposed to do in school. Love your parents, respect your elders, because guess what? You can do the right thing and get all these nice things that you want and dream to get. I know barbers that got Rolexes. I know carpenters that got Phantoms. I know brothers who own rental companies that travel the world. You don't have to be a rapper or a dope boy. Don't let these people, the masses, make you think you have to sell your soul or bend over or compromise. You can be a praying man. You could be a strong man. You could be an emotional man. You can get help for your mental health, and you can still be the king that you was destined to be. So I leave with that. The Top Ox signing off. Thank you for having me. And love to the whole ATL. The love I got in the last couple of days, it's been unreal, and I'm extremely grateful. Allah promises that if you are grateful, I will give you more. So Atlanta, I am grateful.
There it is,
love.
Man. And the Reese's Peace of Mind and Pops knows best of the days. Caveat off of that. Something I say often: if you don't want to get caught dead in a place, and don't get caught in that place at all. And that's what that brother's saying right there. All right, y'all, we out. We're getting back to this mix, man. We appreciate it.
Man, play that Ken I Dean, Tone Trump, and Jim Jones, or that Kevin Gates tattoo tears. We need a Tone Trump mix right now on the biggest and best show in the world. My brother Reese, let's go, let's win. Cheer.
There it is, man.
It's time to see who's with Reese.
Hey, who you with? Wendy Williams is in here. How you doing?
You know who it is, the top 5 dead or alive, D-Block General, Jada Kiss.
Right now.